Wanna hear a weird noise? Weird, right? Hello everybody, my name is Marlo and welcome back to some more Minecraft 1.16 survival here in the Nether, where last episode we built up this absolutely massive zombified piglin golden XP farm, which as you can see is working wonderfully. It's super efficient, the drops are absolutely crazy and they're a little bit too crazy actually. So that sound at the start of the video is actually caused by my item collection system down here not being fast enough, so all of the swords kind of just hang around the piglins, they pick them up and drop them back down on the honey blocks, which makes this really disgusting sound. So yeah, I need to do something about that at some stage, but I will save that for a later episode because I can't really be bothered at the moment, to put it quite simply. But the main reason we're over here is to actually tell you guys, for those of you who watched all the way to the end of last episode, you will know I did a 15-minute session at the bottom of the farm with my looting 3 sword here to see how much gold we would get in those 15 minutes, and I asked you guys to guess how much you think I would get. Now, I didn't actually see anybody really even get close to it. Somebody may after I finish recording this clip, so yeah, apologies if you actually got it like dead on and I'm not mentioning it here, but we got 6 stacks and 62 gold ingots, so 446 gold ingots all within 15 minutes, meaning we will get about a chest full in an hour, just over actually, I think. So that's crazy, that's such good rates, and we're actually going to be making a lot of use out of this gold today, as well as all of this stuff down here, which is what I grinded for in between episodes. So today we are going to be building a Piglin Bartering system, which is actually going to be my design. Now, this design, being mine and all, is not the best, it's not the fastest, it's not the most efficient, it's definitely not the cheapest, but it most certainly is the most satisfying to look at. Well, maybe not the most satisfying, but at least the most satisfying I've seen, although I haven't exactly done some extensive research, but it's pretty to look at. You guys will see in a little bit. I have carefully selected a location for where this build is gonna go. If we can quickly zip past the magma cubes here, you can see that is where my portal is, and we are actually going to be building this thing just behind this big wall here, which if I just dig on through is already like a little bit hollow. If I can make it out the other side somewhere, and then we'll just do a little pillar up action here and get all the way to the top, you can see it's already, you know, pretty hollowed out, so I'm not going to have to do a whole lot of digging. And there's also a nether waste biome just on that way, so that is where we will be able to collect some piglins from and actually move them into the farm itself. So yeah, it's a pretty good location. But before we actually start building this thing, how do I get out of here? I don't know where I came in. Probably around here somewhere will be good. Yeah, there we go. Before we actually start building the farm itself, I would like to build its entrance first, which I am very excited to show you guys, even maybe as much as the farm itself, because I have designed an entranceway for this wall that looks pretty epic, to say the least. Oh, buddy. How cool does that look right there? It's really awesome. It looks so menacing, just indented into the wall there, and it helps me have the whole atmosphere of the basalt deltas. I really wish there was a place for me to land. I guess here. Oops, not like that. There we go. Face plant right into the wall. I guess we do the old zoom in. Don't have Optifine just yet, but yeah, through the mist, that looks really cool. So that right there is our entranceway to our Piglin Bartering system that we're going to set up now. So through here, if I just show you, by the way, this gilded blackstone I think might be my favorite block of 1.16. For those of you who have watched my tutorials, if it involves blackstone, I have used this just because It's beautiful. It's such a nice block. I love the just tint of gold in this. It really, you know, brings the build together. I think it completes it, that block. So yeah, definitely worth the value from going to the bastions to get it. But anyway, through the door you can see it's a little bit of a mess around here, and I already showed you this, so I don't really need to show you again. But pretty much I've just got to hollow out the area that the Piglin Bartering system takes up, which is roughly 21 by 21, I think. Hence why I'm shoving it in a wall, just because I couldn't think of a building to put around the farm itself that I was happy with. I did try, because I originally intended to just put it in my little corner up here, but I couldn't come up with anything good. So yeah, we ended up with this instead, which honestly I kind of prefer. I really do wish haste potions were a thing for digging projects like this, because, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there's any way to get a beacon in the nether without having to break bedrock up there, so I didn't really see any point in doing that for a room of this size, so instead I've just been digging this all one block at a time, very, very slowly. But as you can see, I've got it all done now, and I think this is a large enough size. I might have to expand a little bit upwards and a little bit downwards, but yeah, this is around about the size of the farm actually, maybe inwards a few blocks. But I think what we're going to do here, instead of doing something like a time-lapse, because I don't think a redstone time-lapse is going to be particularly interesting, plus I'm going to have to keep going back and forth between worlds to make sure I don't mess up a lot like last episode. Don't want another one of those mishaps, that would be very bad. But yeah, I think what we're going to do is just kind of progress update, so one step at a time. And I guess the first step would be to lay out all of the slots where our pigmen are going to go, and most of the redstoney bits. So yeah, I'm going to get that done, and then you'll be able to see the shape of the build, which honestly is the most interesting part. A square with a slight curve to it. Super amazing, right? No, you guys aren't really going to see why this farm is so interesting until we actually have it up and running, when we have all of our piglins in place. Right now, you can't really see how this is going to work, but I'll do my best to explain it anyway. So on all of this blackstone here, you can see just about we have some redstone on the blackstone, and then some repeaters on top of the droppers. One, to trigger them, and two, just to mess with timings and everything. So basically, we're going to have some sort of Etho hopper clock, which I think is what we're going to do after this clip. Set up all of the other rest of the redstone. Should be fun. And it's going to send a signal, and it will go all the way around on a continuous... Hello, you need to go away before you cause me more havoc and stress. And you're back. This guy will not leave me alone unless it's multiple of them. Please go away. I also learned they can climb scaffolding, so that's fun. But yeah, it will go all the way around on a continuous loop until we turn it off. But the way this works with the timings and the hopper clock that we're going to do is that by the time this guy is done trading, so it will go all the way around dispensing their ingots into their own little sections here. By the time we get back round to this one, he will drop his items and pick up another golden ingot within the second. Like it's super fast, super snappy. So yeah, that is one reason why it's so satisfying to watch, because it is very well timed. And we will also obviously be able to see our redstone flickering around as we watch this, as well as a minecart rail. You can see we've got that set up behind us there, and that is what is going to be dispensing all of the gold into these droppers. So we'll have a minecart hopper, which will then go, or I guess we can have a minecart chest actually, go over all of these hoppers that go into the back of these droppers. You can kind of see them just about, but that will fill all of our droppers. And yeah, I'm going to make that so you can visually see it going around as well. So pretty much it's just quite nice to watch it going round in a full circle. As I said, it might not make a whole lot of sense at the moment, but I promise you it's going to be cool once we have this up and running. But for right now, I just need to do all of the redstone stuff, so the Etho hopper clock, as well as setting up the minecart system and a few other little bits here and there. And then maybe we'll get the piglins in. I'm not really sure just yet. They're quite noisy, so kind of want to leave them till last. But these magma cubes are driving me crazy. They just keep dropping on my head all the time. I wonder how many I've killed. 385. I never really came to the nether before 1.16, so that just goes to show. By the way, all of these chests here are the collection system. I'm not setting up anything automatic simply because I don't really have room for it, and I don't think I need it. I don't mind searching through all of these items here, but basically the items will get dropped into this hopper and then kind of work their way down to the bottom and fill up. So when this chest gets full, it'll make its way up, fill up this one, and continue on to the top. So each piglin is going to have 3 double chests full of item storage, which honestly is more than enough, I would imagine. Okay, redstone is all in place and it's gone rather swimmingly, which is unusual for me considering I don't do redstone that often because I don't usually understand it, but this actually makes sense to me, so let me try and explain it. So this little contraption right here, our Etho hopper clock, which you guys have probably seen multiple times in other people's videos, specifically Etho's considering he made it, but it is how we can time our farm and time how the droppers actually dispense the ingots to our piglins. So this right here basically is what makes the farm so satisfying to look at. So we have in these 2 hoppers, again going back and forth between each other, 8 magma creams, and yeah, they're sent back and forth. So depending on how many items are in these hoppers will depend on how long your signal is. So we want a pretty short signal, so or timer I guess we should say. So we only have 8 items and going back and forth, so every time this hopper is full, the comparator detects that, sending a signal to this dropper, that's not a dropper, that's a piston, to this piston, which then pushes the redstone block back and forth between the 2 pistons. So every time it lands on this block here, a redstone signal is sent up this wire all the way along to the rest of the wire that connects all of the droppers, dispensing the gold ingots. So you can see that goes all the way around. Now let me just turn it on and we can visually see how that works. So you can see how it is pushing back and forth. You'll see it go in a second. So every time it goes on that block, our signal is sent up and then it takes it off and does it again. And if we just follow the repeaters here, when it gets activated, you can see the repeaters lighting up, going all the way around, and then when we get to the last side, you can see it immediately starts back up again. So that right there is the satisfaction part of the farm. Again, will make more sense when we actually have our piglins, but let me turn it off. So that right there really is all of the redstone done. Now we have another lever over here which is much simpler to understand. It's simply just a redstone wire to a torch tower leading to our powered rails at the top. So when we flick this, you can see the minecart chest, which will have all of the gold in, gets sent all the way around, dispensing its gold into the hoppers, then into the droppers and back round, and then when we want it to stop, we can just flick it again and it will turn off the power rail and will stop nicely right there. Obviously, the farm isn't gonna be looking like this when it's all done. At the moment, it's sort of in its bare bones form, so if you wanted to copy this farm in your own world, these are the blocks you have to place down, and everything else afterwards is kind of up to you. Do make sure you obviously cover the front of this up when your piglins are in place. One thing I haven't mentioned, which is probably important if you are wanting to build this, all of these repeaters on top of the droppers are on maximum tick delay, so yeah, everything else I think you should be able to copy reasonably well. So yeah, all of this is kind of like what has to be placed down, and everything else is entirely aesthetic, which is what I'm going to work on now. So pretty much I just want to enclose ourselves in a little room here, and we're going to be using the same block palette sort of on the outside, so lots of blackstone, some warp blocks, that's basalt, some warped blocks like over there, and yeah, some basalt. So that's really what this room is going to look like. I'm going to get it covered, kind of put its skin on, and then we can move our piglins in and actually have this farm up and running. So I've just been filling in the part of the build which you could see from the outside, and I just need to exit on out of this little gap and put 2 slabs there so we don't get any magma cubes up here messing with our rail system. We can hop on down, and yeah, I've kind of just been like blocking off the parts where you could see through. Could maybe do with adding some more stuff there, but I'll sort that out later. But for the most part, it is all done in here, which, yeah, looks really cool. So originally, I actually had these as stripped logs, but I really like the texture of these, and I don't know how often I'd actually use them, so I thought when I can, I may as well, right? So yeah, this is the room here, and I really do love it. We got our storage down here, which is where I'm going to kind of sort the items. I know there's more than 12 that they drop. I'm going to put the ones that I'm going to use the most down here, and then the non-stackables I'm just going to stick in these upside down barrels. And yeah, that's it. Useful being built, probably don't need much explaining, so yeah, there you go. There's the build all done, ready to go for the piglins, which yeah, is what I got to do now. So I don't really know what the technique for transporting piglins is. I guess I could always just aggro them and get them to chase me here, and then try and lose aggro, and then place some gold and nudge them in place. I'm not sure. It's probably going to be pretty difficult, but first things first, I got to make a tunnel going all the way to the nether waste biome. Aha, there we go, the nether waste biome, the classic look of the nether. So now what we have to do is find ourselves a piglin to get mad at us, and all I see at the moment are zombified piglins, so might have to do a little bit of searching around first of all. Hopefully I have found myself a friend here. Yes, I have. He's nice and friendly and chasing me across, which hopefully he should, in theory, follow me all the way until our tunnel, which is just over here, I hope. Still following? Yep, so we need to bring this guy all the way through until we're back at the farm. Oh, I've got 2 friends apparently. Okay, keep coming. Oh wait, they don't like these guys, do they? Okay, guess I'm gonna anger everyone else. Anger? There we go, I got rid of your problem. Keep coming this way. Okay, so we're back at the farm now. Hopefully he'll follow me through the door. Yes, he does. He's very angry. So I actually had to break the carpets up here because they don't fit otherwise, but there's your gold. Okay, and then we just want to push you in there very quickly. Grab this there, put upside down. He should finish his trade, and there we go. He's trapped. We can put the glass block down right after we give him his name. There you go, Big Popper. And cover him up. And that right there, I need to put a stair there actually. I think this was the one that I did some messing around with. So yeah, that's all I need to do. 15 more times. Shouldn't take long at all, right? No time at all. I'm sure it'll be a very quick and painless process. All of the piglins are now in place, but I've also done a little bit of building off camera just behind our entranceway here, which is why we are starting outside of the farm. But if we just go through this doorway, you can see I've just made a little bit of a room just to, so it's not all open and hideous looking, right? So yeah, just decorated this thing. I think it looks okay. But if we go on through, you can see we have all of our piglins. I've also made a couple of changes in here. One, this slab as kind of like a viewing platform for when the farm is actually running, and 2, this thing right here. I just moved my minecart chest from up there somewhere to down here so I could access it a little bit easier to restock with gold. But yeah, this is my little platform to stand on, and yeah, all the piglins are in place. As you can see, wasn't actually too bad at all. Barely took any time really. I mean, maybe 20-30 minutes in total, so yeah, not too bad for 16 piglins. It helped that I had another waste biome fairly close by, but yeah, we got all of these guys in. We're ready to go. I thought there wasn't one in there then. I was, how did you escape? I have all of this gold here. Nearly 5 stacks of gold blocks, which is overflowing the chest, so we won't actually be able to fill all of this up. But I'm going to stack it as high as I possibly can, so I guess let's just put like a full chest in and see how that goes and see how quickly it disappears. We just need a little bit more. There we go, and then I'll keep the rest on me. So I think what we're going to do is actually just run all of this gold through, so all of this and all of this as well, and then we'll see what kind of drops we get afterwards. Yeah, and see how long it takes to go through all of that gold as well, because I honestly have no idea. I haven't really tested this farm for any length of time, so I'm very interested. But obviously the first thing we got to do is send our minecart off, so there it goes, and then it will go around the top. We can see it through the iron bars going around, filling up all the droppers. It's so cool. I love seeing moving things in a build, and the minecart is like the perfect example of that. So yeah, that is now stocking up on all the gold. I might just let it run for a little bit beforehand. In fact, that's probably good enough. Yeah, seeing that, I'll just go back around constantly filling them up. So I guess now we're ready to turn it on and see how this works. So fingers crossed, I haven't broken anything, but here we go. Right, now let's get to our platform. As you can see, okay, I don't know the best way to do this, but you can see they're picking up the iron ingots, gold ingots, and it's going all the way around. So if we just look at this guy here, did you see that? He dropped it and then picked a new one up instantly, like straight away. See that? You don't even notice the change. There's always a gold ingot in his hand. That is why this farm is so satisfying, because it is just timed to perfection. I don't know if I got lucky doing it or anything, or that's what everybody does. But yeah, for my redstone capabilities, I'm really proud of it. It's really nice to watch, and you can see all the redstone going around in a circle. So yeah, I'm just going to sit here, let them grind through all of their gold, see how long it takes, and while I do that, I have a chest here somewhere with, yes, here we go, a jukebox and then pig step. We got this in a live stream the other weekend. It was a really fun one. Again, twitch.tv/Marlow_. There's a link in the description if you want to catch the streams every Sunday, but I think we're going to put this down, put on some pig step, and then I'm just going to watch this farm work for a little while until it's all done. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. This farm is efficient. I knew it was going to be good, but I didn't really expect the amount of items I actually got. To put it into perspective, I spent more time sorting through all of these chests and putting them in their individual slot than I did having the actual farm running, which before I show you my loot, I will quickly mention the minecart didn't actually keep up with the droppers, so I think what I may have to do in future is just let it run a little bit before and then set off all the droppers. But apart from that, it was great. It worked wonderfully. So let me show you all of the loot. First of all, here's all of my fire resistance potions that I got. Couldn't actually fit them into the other storage, so have to do something there. I'm thinking I'm going to put like a bin over in this corner, just like a little lava thing, where I can just dump some of the items in here, because all of the single stack stuff I don't really need. So all of that is down there. The boots, the books are somewhere, yep, over there, and then some ender pearls as well. But the rest of everything is the good stuff. So here's our glowstone, magma creams, fire charges, regular obsidian, 4 stacks, that's pretty good. Crying obsidian, 9 stacks, all of this soul sand, which I will never use, all of this gravel, which I will probably use, that's really good. These 3 over here are like the main ones that I'm excited about. All of this leather, that's absolutely crazy. I've never seen that much leather in this game, at least from a farm from myself, that is. All of this quartz, so cover that into quartz blocks, that's pretty good going. All of these iron nuggets, 3 stacks of iron, I should say, all of this string, and then all of this nether brick. So yeah, absolutely crazy farm. I honestly will probably never have to run this again because I don't really use any of these items all that much, but even if I don't, it was fun to build. We are running out of time for this episode, so I need to wrap things up here, but before we go, there is one final thing I would like to do. So for now, we will wave goodbye to this place. I'm sure we will be back at some point or another, but we'll exit out of our Piglin trading system, take one final look at the epic entranceway. Still really love this thing, and I actually would like to head to the overworld super quickly. So I thought you could get, as a very rare drop from Piglin Bartering, netherite hose, but turns out that's not actually a thing on Java Edition, which is what I play here, so we're going to have to do it ourselves. So let's head over to the smithing table here, put in our diamond hoe, netherite ingot. We now only have one of these remaining once we use this one up, and we should get an achievement from this. There we go, serious dedication. That's awesome. So now I think we should just be able to head over to the enchanting table once we grab some lapis, and I'm probably going to have to cycle through quite a few of these trades, and I'm looking for efficiency, unbreaking, and fortune. Yeah, we'll try again. That's not bad. Let me see if I have an unbreaking book actually. I don't. Let's try again. Do I have a fortune book? Aha, I do! Over here at my skeleton spawner / mountain base, which is awesome. So we can put this on our hoe, get ourselves fortune 3, and what I might do now very quickly, because we are running out of time very fast, is see if I can get an efficiency 4 book and make this efficiency 5, and then we can put mending on it. Oh, amazing! First try, it's an efficiency book. That is very lucky, so we can get that, put that on our hoe, and now we'll just fly very quickly back over to home base and get one of my mini mending books and stick it on our hoe. There's a 1 and there's a 2. Awesome, that feels great. We now can do stuff like this, which is a ton of fun, believe it or not. So yeah, I now have full netherite tools, all mended up, all fully enchanted, and I'm thinking I should probably name these, like all of my netherite stuff. I've been trying to think for quite a few days actually what to name them, but I don't know. So maybe if you guys got any ideas, let me know down in the comments. But that, guys, is where we're gonna have to wrap this one up. I really hope you did enjoy watching. Thank you so much for doing that, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.